Hello, my friends, and welcome to the second part of our class conditional sentences in our educational series, Mr. Udaid grammar course. Today, my friends, we are going to take part 2, as we said before. Today, we are going to revise the conditional sentences, type 0 and type 1, and we are going to start talking about type 2. So, my friends, what have we talked about so far about conditional sentences? We said in the first part, which is the previous class, that a conditional sentence is a complex sentence. And we said that a complex sentence is made up of two different types of clauses. The first one is called the dependent clause or the if clause, which cannot be used as a simple sentence by itself. And the other part is called the main clause, or we call it the independent clause. And we said that we have 5 types of conditional sentences. They all have the same general form, which is the if clause, if, subject, verb, and the complement of this clause. And the second part is called the main clause, which includes the subject, the verb, and the complement. Now, and we said, my friends, that although all of the 5 types of conditional sentences have the same form, which we have discussed before, still they are different in terms of the tenses of the verbs. And we said that this doesn't mean that they are only different in terms of the time the conditions happening or will happen. There are other things also to be taken into consideration. As we said before, type 0, here we started the numeration from type 0, and we said that type 0 talks about general facts and truth, which are always true. And then we talked about type 1, and type 1 talks about possible conditions at present and in the future. And we talked about the form. Here we use a present simple, continuous, perfect in the if clause, and we cannot use will, as I said before. And in the other part, or in the other clause, second clause, we use the subject, the verb in future. And we have talked about 4 types of a future, and I recommend watching the video again of this topic. It is 2 videos before. You can watch it and you can understand the differences between will going to, present continuous for future, and present simple for future. And of course, the differences between present simple, continuous, and perfect always can be watched on my YouTube channel. The playlist is called Mr. Udaid Grammar Course, the same playlist here. We took some examples, and today, my friends, we are going to start talking about type 2. Opposite to type 1, type 2 talks about impossible conditions at present or in the future. And now, my friends, after we have talked about type 1, which is used to talk about possible conditions at present and in the future, today, my friends, we are going to start talking about type 2, which is used to talk about impossible conditions at present and in the future. Let's talk about the form first, my friends. We use subject plus verb, past simple, and continuous. And here is the shocking point. Here is the turning point that a lot of students always complain about, which is, teacher, you said that we use type 2 to talk about impossible condition at present or in the future. So you're talking about present and the future. How can you use present simple? Past simple, sorry. How can you use past simple to talk about something at present or in the future? I tell you that when we imagine You know, imagination, when we use imagination in order to imagine an impossible condition at present or in the future, we use past simple, and this is 100% correct, because if it's possible, we use present simple. So when it is impossible, we use past simple to show that it is impossible. And then the other part is subject, would and could plus V1. Now let's take some examples and we explain what do we mean by saying impossible conditions. This is here, the first part. If I were rich now, if I were rich now, I would marry Angelina Jolie. Now, why did I use I were? Teacher, this is past simple. We understood it's past simple. You could say if I was rich. Can I use was? Yes, I can. But generally, to show that we are imagining something impossible, we don't only, for example, break the rule of the time. No, we break also the rule of the grammar, and we say if I were. This tells the native speaker that you understand his or her culture. Because in the British culture or the American culture, generally in the English culture, we use were when we imagine or when we wish something impossible at present. We say, if I were rich now, which is not true, I would marry Angelina Jolie. The result of this condition that I would marry Angelina Jolie, you can imagine that I am not rich now and I cannot marry Angelina Jolie. So I am only imagining, I'm just saying something stupid, something silly, or imagining something impossible. Number two, example number two, the party is now or tomorrow. As you see, my friends here, I know Sarah 100% not coming. Whether now, maybe now we are in the party now, or tomorrow the party will be, and I ask my friend, did you invite Sarah? I don't like Sarah. I don't want her to come. He said, no, teacher, and Sarah is not coming. So I say, if Sarah came, I wouldn't come. If Sarah came means I am sure that Sarah is not here. If we are now in the present, I'm sure that Sarah is not here. Or if it's in the future, I tell my friend, I know 100% she's not coming. So if she came, I wouldn't come. Here, I am imagining an impossible condition and the result will be impossible. And I would like to compare it with the example in type 1. In type 1, we said it is possible. So the party is tomorrow and Sarah can come. There is possibility that Sarah can come. So I say, if Sarah comes to the party, I will not come or I'm not going to come. In here, this is possible that Sarah can come. We take the third example, my friends. Here, my mom hasn't cooked and there is no food at home. As you remember, my friends, I talked about a condition last class and I said, we are in the car. I deleted the sentence. Write it with me. We are in the car now, me and my friend, and he told me I am hungry. So I tell him, or I tell her, if my mom has cooked, so my mom is at home and there is possibility that my mom has cooked. But when I am sure 100% that my mom has not cooked, and I would like to tell my friends, you know, I am sorry, if my mom cooked and she doesn't, we would eat at home. Because my mother is, for example, I tell him my mother is at work now. If my mother was at home and she cooked, believe in me, I would eat at home with you. The third example here, I come to talk to you and you are not eating. Now, I know that you are not eating. I say, if you were eating, I would come late. I would come later, for example. Here, I would come later. In here, my friends, when I talk to my friend, I tell him, if you are eating, there is possibility you are eating. There is possibility that you are eating. As you see here, my friends, there is no possibility, and I am sure that you are not eating. So I tell you, if you were eating. So in here, I am imagining. I said, if you were eating, because I am sure that you are not eating. And I said, I would come later because I am here, and I don't, or I will not come later because the condition is not possible, so the result is not possible. As you see here, my friends, well, that's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something new. Let's repeat quickly what we have learned so far. We talked about conditional sentences, and we said that a conditional sentence is a complex sentence, which means that it contains two parts. The first one is the dependent or the if clause. The other one is the main clause or the result clause. We said that all of the 5 types of the conditional sentences have the same general form. Still, they are different in the tenses, and we said that we use type 0 for general facts and things that are always true, and we use type 1 for possible conditions at present or in the future, and also we use type 2 to talk about impossible conditions at present and in the future. And we compared some examples from the previous class with examples from this class. Please, my friends, if you don't understand the point, try to watch this video again and try to play some code games and the blue kit games, which are going to be useful for you. My friends, type 2 conditional sentences are very important, and they are widely used by millions of English speakers, and they are one of the most important pieces of grammar. So please, my friends, if you don't understand any point, just repeat the video. It's not a problem to repeat the video. This also refers to your perseverance and your seriousness in learning. Play the code games, play the blue kit games, and this is my advice for the teachers. Play Kahoot games with your students and urge them to use type 2, because type 2 is very important. Thanks again, my friends, and see you in the next class.